What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the first episode in our coverage of Subsistence. This is a game that I get requested a lot, and honestly, I had a ton of trouble figuring out ways to record the game. A lot of my software wouldn't cover it, which is why I wasn't actually interested in recording it back when it first came out. But I finally managed to work around, so I wanted to invite you all back for a little bit of survival gameplay in a world that's full of wolves and people that want to shoot me with guns. Today we've started out with what looks like just our axe, just our trusty little axe right here. We've got ourselves what looks like a Beretta 9mm, and then we've also got a chem light, a glowing blue light stick, just in case we decide we want to go roller skating today. Roller skating is always fun, so that's something to consider. I don't exactly know where to start. I know that if I press the G key, it puts me inside this inventory. There's all kinds of stuff that I can craft, from like buildings to bases to command units or whatever. I've played enough to know that if you walk around, there are like little storage crates and things. I'm going to go hit this chicken with an axe. I don't know if that's an advisable course of action, but this chicken's about to get... Oh, that chicken is faster. That chicken's got run speed that I didn't expect. Sorry, the chicken's tougher than I thought, man. I thought I was going to be able to take the chicken out, and I was totally wrong. I mean, we're closing the gap slowly, but I think it's just going to be an exercise in real just pointlessness. We're going to spend 30 minutes running down a chicken, and then you're never going to get to see any gameplay, so... Oh, shit. I don't think I want to fight wolves right now. Wolves, if you could stay away from me and just, like, leave me alone... I promise I won't have to shoot you in the face with 9mm hollow points over and over and over again while screaming, "Ah, no! Please don't hurt me!" That's my go-to rallying cry. It's my battle cry. It's been passed down through my family over several generations. I don't think it does much to intimidate the foe, but it does wonders for morale. I mean, if you're ready to shoot somebody while holding one leg up in the air with the gun held upside down and sideways while screaming, I think it's the superior thing to shout out. Now, this right here is an ammo container. They will be laying around at the beginning of the game, and because that ammo container had bullets inside of it, that makes our life a little bit better, because as we go on down the trail here, I think we're going to be expending some bullets. I do have hunters enabled for anybody that might be wondering. I guess after the first couple days, what's going to happen is there's going to be these dudes with guns that just like spawn on our map and are super interested in like hunting us. That sounds super awesome to me. That sounds like a lot of fun, and in fact, that's not really something that's ever been done in a survival game before, where after a certain amount of time, people with firearms start hunting you and like taking cover behind things. And I don't know if it's going to work out like that, but that's how I envision it in my head. And while often I find that the vision inside of my head is completely and totally off by comparison to the reality of the situation, you know, the de jure versus the de facto and all that. Ooh, there's boxes laying around over here. We probably want to watch out for cordage, like these little plants right here. They're kind of hard to see, but keep an eye out for them. You can pick those up. Let's see, is there anything going on in here? We have cordage, 2 cordage. We've also got nails, we've got some scrap metal, and we've got some circuitry. Sure, I'll take it. There's another box right over here. This is what it actually recommends you do on the first day. You just run around and dig up inside other people's boxes. In normal, polite society, that would in general be frowned upon. But hey, it's survival, so apparently all things are allowed when it comes to surviving. I don't know. We'll keep it moving. I don't really know what I should be doing right now. There's another fiber plant over here, so you know what? I'm always interested in regularity, so let's go grab that. There are some other plants that'll be in the area that have like, ooh, there's a mining node over here. This little thing is a mining node. I think it gives you like iron or something like that. I wouldn't know. I don't think I've ever gone far enough to actually like have this. Can I hit it with my axe? Yeah, you've got to have the proper crafting tool in order to get that one out. So we'll work on that first, I guess. We've got ourselves a mining node. We've got some various things sitting around. What's it going to take me to get my first pickaxe? So my first pickaxe, it's going to require 4 scrap metal, 4 planks, and some cordage. That's not actually that difficult. What is that? Is that pee? Please tell me that's not pee. It's biofuel. That sounds like a polite way of saying that I just picked up pee with my bare hands. Why are people peeing in crates and then dropping them from the sky? That's the other part that confuses me. That seems like, is that for someone's enjoyment? Do they do that like a sport? Is it recreation, just peeing in jars and leaving it in the forest somewhere? There's a bear over there, and I don't think I want to mess with bears right now. I don't have enough bullets to drop a bear with a 9mm. That might take a little bit more effort than I'm willing to put out, in all fairness. There is a bullet crate over there, though, so if I've got the wood, what does it take me to get the planks made? So if I got the base command unit, wooden planks, so I can make... Wow, we're pretty good at planing wood, actually. I thought we might have to have some kind of exterior facility in order to do that. Planing wood is actually kind of difficult, to the point where there are people whose jobs it is at lumber mills to plane wood. Like, that's their job. That's what they do all day, every day, is they just plane wood. I know this because my old man chopped down a redwood tree in his back area, I guess. I don't know if back area sounds kind of awkward. That makes it sound like I'm trying to hide something. All right, my dad chopped down like an 80-foot, 75-foot redwood tree in his backyard because apparently it was against some like city ordinance or something like that. So he chops it down, and he was just going to use it for firewood. He was going to chop it up for firewood, and then like his friend who deals with all kinds of like, I guess, I don't know, steel mill, and I'm sorry, not steel mill, but he works at like a lumber mill or something like that. Was like, whoa. Don't chop it up for firewood. Apparently redwood is worth a lot of money. And so anyways, my dad had somebody come out and plane all the wood. And truth be told, redwood apparently sells for a pretty penny. He's got like half of it drying right now so that it can be sold because the people that want to make stuff out of it. I guess that right now, things that are really, really popular, redwood tables that are made from like rough redwood that's been like, they use some kind of epoxy or something they put over the top to make it like smooth or something like that. Apparently there are guys, that's why the redwood is worth so much money, is because people want to make furniture out of the redwood, and they sell like a redwood coffee table for like $1,500 or whatever. And so they pay like a huge amount for the wood because A, it's hard to come by because a lot of redwood is protected in the United States. So like it's tough to get your hands on it. And then B, there's like a demand for it. Like people want to have like that rustic look, that kind of Hunter's Lodge Gaston look to their house. No one would like Gaston. No one could like Gaston. And he stands, no one else possibly stands like Gaston. Or stood. I guess it's got to be in the past tense so that it rhymes. See, this is why I could never work for Disney writing songs. Oh, looky there. We've got a fence on this side. Okay. That's unfortunate. I'm especially good at expectorating. So I'm going to queue up some sticks, too, because I don't know what sticks are useful for. But I figure at some point we're going to need access to sticks because... Oh, I can also make that. Yeah, queue up everything while I'm walking around. I love this crafting system where, like, I don't have to sit there and watch a meter go up. I just, like, queue it up real fast, and then as it's queued, it takes care of its own business. Keep chopping down some trees here. So we got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't see any more crates laying around, and that's what I'm actually really, really interested in. I want the crates because bullets are kind of hard to come by at this point in the game. There's a crate right there. I'll take that one. We're also going to keep an eye out for anything that grants me cordage and makes my life a little bit easier along that front, because tying stuff off in a survival situation, cordage is a big, big deal. If you have cordage, it actually makes your life a ton easier. If you're going to be sitting around with a lanyard ring trying to make your own, it's just a nightmare because it's a huge waste of time, resources, and calories while you're sitting there potentially starving. So we need water, we need carrots, and it appears as though we need meat. Does that matter? Oh, it's proteins, fruits and veggies, and hydration. Okay, so they split it up a little bit different in this game. I figure we'll probably die horribly. I don't really know how to get my hands on... Oh, cordage and water and a little bit extra scrap metal. Yes, sir. If you walk around, there are areas where there'll be like a bunch of scrap metal laying on the ground. I don't know if the map is randomly generated or if it's the same every single time we play the game. My experience with the title is honestly the breath is not that breathy. It's just not. The breath is not that. You know what I watched the other night? Speaking of breath, I saw that movie, Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children or something like that. Not a bad film. I went into that one with really, really low expectations. And that might be why, when I came out of the film, I was reasonably surprised. I was like, my wife rented it, and she was like, I really, really want to watch this. And I was like, okay, I was doing the good husband thing, where I was like, cool. It's just a couple hours. If the movie ends up sucking, I'll just browse on my phone for a little while. And so she started watching it, and actually, I wasn't on my phone at all. I was watching the film the entire time. Everything from, like, the art design to the cast, I really enjoyed that movie. Not a bad film. Like, there were certain things that, like, I think could have been explained a little bit better. And it's one of the few times that I actually think Samuel L. Jackson did not do a good job. Normally, I'm a fan of anything with Samuel L. Jackson, but I was one of the few films where I was like, maybe a little bit of a miscast there. Maybe a tiny bit of a miscast. I mean, we know he can do, like, scary stuff because he played the desk clerk or, like, the bellhop or whatever it was in 1408, and he did a great job at being, like, vaguely threatening and strangely creepy in that movie. But for some reason in Mrs. Peregrine's, he didn't do quite as well. I can't tell you the exact reason why. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I felt like the casting was slightly off for that. But aside from that little tittle, which, tittle, I like that word. Say it right now. Say it out loud. I bet you just did. I bet somebody right now is just like tittle. They're like, oh, yeah, I just learned a new thing. That was a lot of fun. It's kind of like saying noodle. It's just really, really fun to do, and I highly recommend it for everybody. I've got 4 of those now. I'm going to suggest that we use the pickaxe. Or I guess that we craft a pickaxe. So that if we see metal nodes, like on the sides of any of these... Oh, there's a wolf over there. I don't really want to fight him. I'm a little terrified. Like, do I need to find shelter or anything like that? Is that going to be important? I don't know. Do I need to be inside? It's 20 degrees Celsius right now. Which is reasonably... I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Some more scrap metal and some more circuitry right there. We do have a pickaxe now, so I will consider throwing that into one of my hot slots. I don't think I'm going to need the chem light. I mean, I might. It's hard to tell. I've never actually seen nighttime in this game. It could turn out to be just a really, really morose, dark time for me as a human being. Alternatively, this might be one of those survival games where it's not that dark at night and everything works out perfectly fine. There's no way to tell at this point. We just got to kind of run it out until we get there. I assume that we're at midday right now because the heat is the highest. A little bit after noon, possibly. I don't know if that's going to go up any further. At 20 degrees Celsius, I think we're all right. It could be hot. Oh, shit, that's a bear. Let's run for our lives. Nope, no wildlife encounters today. No, thank you. I don't want what you're selling. You're an evil creature, and I think you're going to break in and steal my picnic baskets. No, thank you. Ooh, yes, I do want those, though. There's a whole bunch of these over here. Seems mildly important to me that I have enough stuff for cordage. So we've got a little bit more scrap metal, some gunpowder. Yeah, sure, why not? Absolutely. We've got enough nails to get moving, too, which I think is really good. Oh, we got some blueberries. Nice. I like blueberries. No, I don't. That's a giant lie. I bought some because I realized I had never had a blueberry before that was not inside of some other confection. I realized that the other day, so I bought like a crate of blueberries. And I'll be honest, it was pretty disappointing. I was like, this is not an attractive fruit. I don't know what it is about it. It's just got a weird flavor to it. I like these are much, much better when you put them inside of a muffin. Or inside of some type of bagel. Like this really, to me, after having done the empirical research with my tongue space, it feels to me as though this should largely be relegated to being inside other things. It's like green beans. Green beans are goddamn terrible by themselves, but if you put them inside of like a green bean casserole with maybe like some crispy onion straws on top or whatever, not quite so bad anymore. Not quite so bad. So does stuff regrow on the map? I don't know. Can I go to these mountains over here? Also, are there any animals around that feel like being mean to me? So far, we haven't really actually seen anything that looks to be that interesting and or useful. In a day or two, there's going to be people here that want to murder me, so maybe I should focus on that. It does look like we're hungry. If I eat those, will I feel better? Is it just like handfuls of blueberries? That's not too bad. That got me going. It's interesting that they do split the game up into like fruits and veggies and also proteins, because that's actually a big part of survival. A lot of people, you got to actually, when you kill something, you got to eat like the brains and the eyeballs and stuff if you're starving. Like, let's say that you haven't had food in a couple of days and you just like eat a whole bunch of proteins. That's really, really bad for you. Your body doesn't know what to do with that. In general, it can be a source of complications, I guess is a polite way to put it. You do have to kind of spread your diet around. Get some roughage in there. I mean, if you're only having to be out in nature for like a day or two, and you're only going to go hungry for a little while, by all means. But if you're consistently like in a state of starvation, and you're eating only protein in order to stave that off, you got to make sure you're getting the fats. You got to eat the eyeballs and the brains and everything else, or whatever it is you're killing, so that you get the fat into your system. Because a lot of your body runs purely off of, oh, that's a medical crate. I've never seen one of those before. A lot of various systems in your body require, oh, it's an aid crate. So we've got access to like apples and stuff too. So if I eat an apple, that's actually quite filling. That goes against everything that I know about life. I've gone on like fruit purge diets before when I was trying to drop weight hella hard. Basically, I'm the kind of person that if there's a shortcut, I'm going to try and take it when it comes to weight loss. Because, frankly, I don't like being hungry all the time, and most dieting kind of feels like you're being hungry. So anyways, I was fat, right? I used to be a fat guy. And so I wanted to lose weight. So I was like, I'm going to just eat nothing but fruit for like the next 2 weeks while working out and just kind of see what happens. And yes, you do drop a lot of weight. Like I was cutting weight like a maniac on that diet. But what I've learned is that fruit is not very filling. Fruit is not very filling at all. Like I would eat like a half a thing of strawberries, you know what I mean? And after eating like a half a tray of strawberries, I'd be good for probably like an hour and a half. and then I'd just be starving hungry again. Like, your body goes through it so rapidly, especially, oh, look at that. Those trees look different. Is that normal? Is this a different biome over here? Like an autumnal biome? It's autumna. I believe that we should pronounce all words the way that they're spelled. I'm a strong proponent of this. I'm putting a bill forward through Congress. That's right, Splattercat for Congress. Anyways, I'm putting a bill forward through Congress that sort of, well, forces people. There's no nice way to say it, but we should say words the way that they're spelled. And if they're spelled in a weird way, we should just autumn. It should be spelled O-T-U-M. That's it, autumn. That's how we should spell autumn. Instead, we've got like this A-U-T-U-M-N-A-L bullshit going on, and it's just too much. It's too much. It's slowing our society down. It's impeding our advancement. It's complicated for new learners of the language. Oh my god, there's a weird little standing rock thing over here. I kind of want to go and investigate it. As a geologist, I kind of just want to stand under this and hope that I don't get crushed. In general, probably not a bright idea to light a fire under something like that. I know what you've seen in films with people being like, oh, it's a shelter. I'm going to get up underneath this. And then they will come up underneath here. And then they'll be like, I'm going to light a fire. What is that noise? Oh, I hear something bad happening. Oh, there was a bear on top of it. Okay, there was a sky bear. A floating bear of doom was waiting to fight us off. But yeah, with a location like that, it's probably not going to fall. But if you light a fire underneath it, you don't know how long it's been since the rock has been subjected to any, like, heat. And heat causes things to expand, stone included. It's just, you know, be careful. Maybe light the fire under it and don't sit under it for a couple of hours. Until you figure out what's going to happen there. I like how that wolf is walking with, like, his front legs completely and totally up off the ground. It's a bipedal wolf. We found new things, biologists. We're out here doing research. I don't know what I should do right now. I'll be super square with you. I'm not sure at all what my current goal should be. Like, I feel like I should probably be doing something, like applying myself somehow. But no idea. Let's go ahead and we'll chop some wood. That's always a safe. Most survival games seem to hinge upon me chopping wood at one point or another. Oh, that bear wants a piece too. Man, we're going to have to snap it off like a Kit Kat up in this maw. These dudes don't want to know us. I like how our sprint meter basically like lasts forever. Although we are a little thirsty right now. We could probably get on top of taking care of that before I end up like dehydrated and dying. My plan would be that whatever base I should build should be against like this fence, so that in the worst case scenario we can just run the perimeter of the map if we wanted to get back to our base, and we'll eventually find it. Alternatively, this is actually kind of a disorienting map because everything's very flat and very sort of natural with like trees here and there. There's not a lot of landmarks or anything standing out, like reference points like lakes or anything like that, and so that's another reason why I'm kind of remiss. I'm a little bit apprehensive about stopping and making a base here. It's just, you know, it's cutting it close. I like to have reference points when I build a base because I don't relish the thought of putting a whole bunch of resources into like a super awesome location that I'm going to live inside of and then finding out shortly thereafter that I've gotten lost and I can't get the whole thing back. It's happened to me too many times in Rust to let you know. Like, believe me. Although, weirdly enough, when I played Rust, I learned the map pretty quickly. Like, I played Rust for like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden I just had like this weird inherent knowledge of where I was at any given time. And that was back with the old map that was hella big, where you could just like wander in a direction for days on end, you know, and not end up anywhere. Like, the resources would just stop. I'm beginning to think that that like mining node that we saw was a bit of a rarity. Since we don't really have a reference point, I actually really like this little canyon down here. If there's no... Yeah, I like this canyon a lot. Oh, there's a cave. Even better. Yeah. That's mighty fine natural protection right there. I like it. Natural protection for when the lovin's good. We've got... So what can we do right now? I can make a base command unit. Storage crates. I can make wood foundations. A placeable item for base building. But all of this is going to require some planking being done. It's also going to require some tree chopping. Okay. I don't know how big that foundation is going to be. My hope is that it's actually fairly large. Otherwise, the resource investment here looks like it's going to be pretty badass. Oh, you can just keep chopping wood off the trees. Okay. Easy enough. Looks like maybe you get 2 or 3 off each tree. I wonder how long the respawn rate is on getting these resources back. Let's just keep on whacking away at this shit. Okay, so that one's out of resources. Gotcha. Cool. I don't know how I didn't notice that indicator before, but it's probably just because I'm YouTubing right now. And when you got to follow the YouTuber's law, when YouTubing, there's almost a 100% chance you're going to do something dumb within every 25-minute period of playing a game. It's just going to happen. There's no way around it. It's going to occur to you, so you might as well accept it now. If you ever plan to turn on ye old Shadow Play or Fraps or Bandicam or OBS or whatever it is you're planning on using for your YouTube career, just be aware you're going to do some really, really dumb shit from time to time. And it's probably going to be spaced every 30 minutes or so. Every 30 minutes or so from my experience. I think it's pretty rare I go at least one episode without doing something dumb. I don't know. Trying to get my wood stocks back up right now. It's going to take a little bit for the planks to get done anyway, so I don't really care about sitting and staring at meters while they fill up. Gives me something reasonable to work on. I'm glad to see that I hate it when crafting items break. Like when you've got like an axe or like a pickaxe or whatever and they break all the time. Always bugs me in video games because like my dad has axes that his granddad had like back in like 1915. As long as you oil it and sharpen it every now and again. It's a perfectly fine tool. Same thing with hatchets and whatnot. Alright, so with what we're sitting on right now, are all those planks done? Most of the planks are done. So we get 1 plank for every single time that we do this. We've got enough for 5 more right there. Let's also consider, well, actually, let's drink a water and see what happens. Oh, it's proteins that we need. Is there any reasonable way for me to get my hand on proteins before this goes any worse? So we've got, looks like medicinal herbs right there. Is there like a hunting knife or anything like that that allows me to... Like, let's say that I kill an animal. If I kill an animal, how do I get the... I'm curious as to how if I kill an animal, I actually get the resources off of it. Because I have, like, firearms. Like, I can go shoot something real fast. It's no problem. Like, we can just run out here and be like, pow, 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 and murder something. But, like, do we shoot game animals, like rabbits or whatever? Or do we shoot, like, wolves and things? Ooh, a mining node. So we got zinc ore. Okay. I guess we have zinc now. There's a whole bunch on this rock emplacement. Let's go take a look at all these. And while I wait for things to craft, I will probably excuse myself because we're getting towards the end of the episode. This game is called Subsistence. If you wanted to play Subsistence, I've got a link for you down below. Very, very cool stuff. Seems like it's going to be a fun little playthrough for us. I'm interested to see what happens once the hunters move to town and start trying to give it to us. Alternatively, if you wanted to support me here on the channel, you can do that through the Patreon link that I've got down below. You get yourself a bunch of rewards. I hang out in the Discord every now and again. End up talking to people for a little while about stuff. You can link that on up. And there's a whole bunch of other rewards and things that you get along the way, too. The Patreon has been responsible for creating a bunch of shows for the channel, which is actually really, really sweet. So I will see you guys all later. Hi to everybody, and thank you for stopping on in. It's been a blast.